Hey, before you check out this video, maybe go check out the new Discord. It is in the description. Thank you, and let's get right into things. Let's end things with a bang. We have a short video that came to us courtesy of Sky News, and it's interesting. So if you know anything about competitive or speedrunning video games, then you know that when people break certain records, then it is very, 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 very huge within those communities, right? So what happens when a news agency decides not to understand how important those things are for those communities, and instead decides to shit all over the hopes and dreams of people who have dedicated their lives to something far harder than any of those newscasters ever had? Well, you get this lady from Sky News.
Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
Oh my god!
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks.
Yeah, this is what's known as a kill screen. Anybody who is used to playing old, infinitely running arcade games is familiar with the concept of a kill screen. If you're not familiar with the concept, I don't know, probably go read Ready Player One. It has a pretty good, way of explaining it in there. Also, you can watch Fistful of Quarters. They talk about the kill screen in there as well. Kill screen on Donkey Kong. But basically, yeah, you get to a certain point where the game can't load any more data because it's just pushed itself full, and it stops generating new levels, it stops generating new content, it just kind of stops. That is functionally beating one of those games. It's as close to beating one of those games as you'll ever get, because they are not programmed in a way that is supposed to be beaten. There's no such thing as a final level in games like the original Donkey Kong or games like Tetris on the original Nintendo. Like, those things do not have hard-coded endpoints. But they do have points in time where they stop functioning. And that is exactly what a kill screen is. So let's continue.
As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal.
What?
Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
Okay, so let's talk about the levels of condescension that are required to have this particular feeling, right? Ma'am, it may not be your life goal to get to the kill screen of Tetris, to get to the level of skill and dexterity required to get to that point. Hell, I'm literally just playing a video game as I say this right now. Maybe that will throw any opinion that I have out the window, but while Sky News is not normally the most shit at stuff, I did some media bias fact-check style digging before this started to make sure that I had a decent idea, because I'm not as familiar with Sky News. They're not a local news org to me. But I did find that this woman really pisses me off. Just a little bit. Because while you may say that beating Tetris is not a life goal, we live in a world today where there are tons of people who have made their careers off of playing video games. Not just playing them at a professional level and becoming the best of the best at them in a competitive esports environment, but literally just playing video games. Hell, you could label part of my job as just playing video games. There's times where I'm just sitting here talking with my audience while a game is being played, and that's all I'm doing. While, yes, there is an entertainment aspect to my audience that is separate than the game, there's still the part that is people looking at the game and engaging with that. So, you could say that it's not a life goal, but if it's his life goal, then it's a life goal. The thing about goals is they are very, very individualistic. They are based on the people who set them. I have a goal that one day my channel will hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I would like it to hit it one day. Somebody might say, getting a lot of people to watch your YouTube video is not a life goal, but it's literally my job. It's my career. So what? I just don't understand where you get to this position. I can say sitting behind a desk and talking to people is not a life goal. I can use condescension to throw any life accomplishment you or anyone else might have in a blender. It's not hard to do so. But the fact of the matter is, this kid set a goal for himself to develop the skill and dexterity to get to the kill screen in Tetris, and was thoroughly excited when it happened, which means he wasn't surprised by it. So this was a deliberate thing. He knew what he was going for, he knew what he was getting, and it happened. So it's not like the kid was dropping out of school to play Tetris. Even if he did, this moment right here is the type of thing that pushes somebody into notoriety and fame in gaming circles. You can literally take this moment and build a career off of it. You can take this exact moment and build a career from here. All it takes often is one viral video, and then you can run to the races with the rest of a channel. You just have to be able to take that circumstance that has happened to you and use it. He was filming himself. He had all the equipment there and ready for it. There are plenty of people who have already done it. There's nothing saying this could not be part of an actual career for him. And things like this lady being as condescending as she is towards him may actually even have the silver lining of creating that perfect storm of people talking about this situation that would allow somebody to turn this into a full-time career. It may be that somebody being a condescending asshole about this actually works very, very well in the guy's favor. It could. At least I would hope so. Because if somebody, let's say for me, my goal, maybe not this year because the format for competitive Magic this year is standard, and I kind of hate standard format, but let's say, for instance, that I set a goal for myself to get first at Nationals in standard. This bitch would be the type of person to say, well, get up and touch grass because winning at a card game is not a life goal. Well, actually it is. It can be for a lot of people, especially when you consider the level of skill that is required to play at the tables that you would be playing at after your Pro Tour qualifiers have been completed. If you yourself can step into that person's shoes and match that level of skill, then by all means, talk with whatever hoity-toity attitude you want. But until you've taken the time to accomplish the same goal to show that it's not actually that important, then don't diss the hundreds of hours, sometimes thousands of hours, that somebody has put into a hobby or a craft or anything, and never, ever, ever shit on their excitement over that thing. Never once do that. If you were my mom, and your response to me being happy at something like Banjo-Kazooie being released in Smash Bros., then I would actually be kind of pissed at you. Because the fact of the matter is, it's not important to you. But it is important to me. It is very important to me if I hit a goal, if something that I've been waiting for a long, long time happens and I get to be alive to witness it. These are things that are important to me. And these are things that gamers in general, when we have these moments, a lot of us kind of thought that we had gotten to the point where gaming as a hobby and as a craft had gotten past the point where people treated it with the condescension that we were used to in the 90s. Half the reason that the attitude of the 90s, where video games were concerned, was very much a, whoa, Mom, I don't care what you say, I'm going to go play this game. The reason that happened was not just because 90s was an era where they wanted to promote attitude in marketing. That was one of them. Salem says, you're just describing our childhoods. Yeah, I know. It was also because people in marketing recognized that video games as a hobby was still something that was so thoroughly ingrained in what kids were doing. And those kids would likely be leading lives where their parents would not care about what they were doing, would not care about those accomplishments. Video games were still very much a thing that it was rarer to find adults participating in. But it's been 30 years since the 90s. We now live in a day and age where people have made entire careers off the back of playing video games, and even then, playing video games is seen as normal as going to watch a movie or reading a book. It is as understood as a piece of entertainment medium as anything else. So I kind of thought we were past the point where this type of bullcrap was recognized as okay. Now, I understand that this woman may not see it that way. She might look at this and say, well, I'm not meaning anything by it. I'm just saying that this person needs to go reprioritize things. And my point to that would be, no, they don't. They're happy. They've had an accomplishment which made them happy. And if they can get that happiness by playing Tetris, then fuck me, I'm all for it. Because, unfortunately, we live in a day and age where depression is on the rise, anxiety is on the rise, and there are fewer and fewer pockets of true happiness that people are able to have a grasp on for anything longer than a few fleeting moments. Let's let people be happy. Okay, maybe we can do that. If they're not hurting anybody and their beliefs aren't, congruent with hurting people, then maybe we can just let them smile. I think that would be fine, personally. That she may just be a bitter husk of a person? She may be. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe. I do not want any abusive comments to be thrown at this reporter at all. I don't know her name. I don't want to know her name, and I don't want her name thrown in the comment section at all. These are my thoughts on a viral moment and a woman's opinion on that viral moment that I heavily disagree with for a variety of reasons. Jassa says he even dedicated the record to his father, who passed away months earlier. Boy, howdy! Isn't it just the sign of truly good and powerful investigative journalism to not talk about that part, not even think about that part, and just talk about instead shitting on the kid's life? Shitting on their accomplishments? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I just wanted to go and comment on this one, and as always, insert end of video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability that Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.